Hey everyone, welcome back to Damn Tasty Vegan. It's your friend Maria Rose. So I made a video right before this one of my vegan grocery haul for 2, and this week I'm going to show you some dinners that I made throughout the week using those groceries. So I hope this video gives you some inspiration if maybe you're in a food slump, don't know what to cook. I've definitely been there. So let's hang out for a little bit and I'll show you what I had for dinner this week. So I want to start out with this tip that's been super freaking helpful for me lately in terms of like meal planning and creating a shopping list. I got this little like magnetic dry erase board to go on my fridge, and then anytime I run out of things right away, I can just write down that I need it. And yeah, and anytime, usually on Sundays, I'll make like a meal plan, and throughout the week sometimes I'll see some really good recipes like on YouTube and I'll just put down some meal ideas. So on the top I have like dinner ideas, and the bottom I have the shopping list. So I'll link that below if you guys want to check that out. So up first I have this delicious creamy butternut squash Alfredo pasta with oyster mushrooms. And I first start by taking some boiling water and soaking about half a cup of raw cashews for about 10 minutes. This is going to be our creamy Alfredo base. And then I just take some whole wheat pasta, get that cooking. And it's trumpet mushrooms, not oyster mushrooms. So I think they're the same thing. I don't know. Anyway, these things are so freaking good. When you pan fry them with a little bit of salt, a little bit of oil, they taste incredible. So I just kind of cut them in rounds like so, and please don't mind my chopping skills. I know it's really, really poorly executed right now and I could chop off my thumbs, but just, I don't know. I'm not the best at chopping. Anyway, just be careful. And now I just take a little bit of avocado spray. I let my pan heat up before I added the mushrooms, and then I just sprinkled a little bit of salt on them. And once I get them kind of flattened out, then I try not to touch them for about 5 minutes because I want to create a sear on each side of it, and they taste delicious. So it takes time. So now I'm making the Alfredo sauce. The link to this is on my blog and I'll link it below. It's just nutritional yeast, garlic powder, onion powder, some water, some salt, and lemon juice, which I'll show in a minute. I forgot to put it in at this point, but lemon juice to give it the tart flavor. And it comes out a little bit runny in the beginning, but don't worry, because when you heat the cashew cream sauce, it thickens up. So the longer you have the cashew cream on heat, the more thick it'll be. So now we're jumping back to the mushrooms, and I just flipped them to the other side. Decided to add in some chopped garlic at this point, added in the drained pasta, added in the cashew cream, and then I saved some of the pasta water. So save some of that water because cooking with the pasta water just makes it really delicious and helps it thicken up. So now I just have it on low heat and just letting the sauce thicken up a little bit, and at this point I season it a little bit more with some salt and pepper. And I forgot to show this, but at the beginning, I put in some cubed butternut squash in the oven, just baked it at 400 degrees, I believe, for about 20 minutes. And then I added in some fresh baby arugula. Oh my God, it's so delicious. I love arugula. It's so good in pasta. Just let it wilt a little bit. And now at the beginning of the week, I usually meal prep like a bunch of lettuce to make a salad. I'll put some like red cabbage, shredded carrots, cauliflower, broccoli in there with romaine lettuce. And I have a creamy cashew ranch dressing that I'll link below. It's on my blog. And this was just a delicious, comforting pasta and salad night. So yeah, super, super good. I make this quite a few times in the fall when butternut squash is in season. Next up, we have Taco Tuesday. Taco Tuesday. This is one of my favorite easy basic taco recipes. I forgot to actually film this, so this is the next day. This is the leftovers the next day. So I just saute. I finally chopped some just white button mushrooms, and then I cook it with some black beans, a little bit of water, and taco seasonings. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Super easy, my favorite way to eat tacos. And then tacos are all about the toppings. So I had some lettuce, and I made some homemade pico de gallo with some fresh grown tomatoes from our garden, some cilantro, onion, lemon juice because I was out of limes, and salt. Super easy. The pico de gallo made this dish. And so did this vegan sour cream. I haven't had sour cream on my tacos in so long. I kind of just wrote off sour creams when there was only one brand on the market, but now there's so many. And this is my first time trying the Kite Hill brand, and it was so good. So I definitely recommend that. Next up we have just spaghetti with some kind of failed meatballs. I was recipe testing tempeh meatballs. These would have been good had I not added frickin' toasted fennel seeds, because I was trying to make it taste like Italian sausage, and I read that you could interchange fennel seeds with caraway seeds. You can't frickin' interchange those two. Anyway, so I am cooking down my tempeh first with a little bit of soy sauce, because you need to cook your tempeh in a little bit of water at first to get rid of the bitterness. So I added a lot more water than I showed, and I got a little frustrated with like chopping up my mushrooms, so I put it in the blender to chop it finely. And after I cooked the tempeh for a little bit to get rid of the bitterness, I added the mushrooms with some onions, and then I just added in some seasonings. Let me see. Oh, some more soy sauce, and I think that's paprika, and then I had like Italian seasonings. Oh no, garlic powder, onion powder, there's the paprika, and a lot of paprika. Garlic, and then later on I added some some Italian seasonings. Then I added in the garlic. I like to add my garlic in dishes later on, so it kind of keeps the garlicky flavor and it doesn't brown. And I was out of tomato paste, so I just use ketchup. That works too. And now I took some breadcrumbs and added some unsweetened oat milk to it. You want to add a liquid to your breadcrumbs before you add the meatball mixture there, because if the breadcrumbs are dry, it's going to soak up all of the moisture. So you need to wet your breadcrumbs first. And here are those frickin' fennel seeds that I wish I would have left out, because this recipe would have been good. So good without those. I'm going to redo this recipe and add it to my blog. Oh, I added fresh parsley as well, and a flax egg. Next time what I would do with this is, there's a little bit more soy sauce. The next time I make this, I'm going to add a little quinoa, because it needs a little bit more bite to it, and I'm definitely keeping out the fennel seeds, and maybe adding a little bit of oil, because they kind of dried up a little bit. But if you just cook them in the pasta sauce later, then it'll give it a little moisture, so it might not even need oil. But that's how I'm going to adjust this recipe next. And yeah, I'll put it on the blog once I get the recipe down. So this was still good though. I can't go a week without curry, so I made sweet potato soles, tempeh tikka masala, except I used tofu. So I made it in the Instant Pot. I just sprayed a little bit of avocado oil in there and added some onions. This recipe was so good, you guys. I'm definitely gonna make this again. I love like creamy curry dishes, and this hit the spot. And then I added in all of the seasonings. I don't remember what was in it, but I will definitely link her recipe below. It's so killer. And then some diced tomatoes, and I added frozen and then thawed and pressed tofu. When you freeze tofu and then let it thaw out, it makes the tofu super, super chewy and delicious. So the frozen tofu is definitely good in this, but make sure you thaw it out first. Then I added potatoes and garlic, and then I had some ginger garlic paste on hand. I always have this on hand because you'll see it in a lot of Indian dishes. And then I had some just plain oat yogurt, and then I had some extra creamy oat milk. Her recipe calls for coconut milk and yogurt. I didn't have coconut milk on hand. Gasp, I know, usually I do, but this extra creamy oat milk is super freaking good. It's just plain and unsweetened. It's so good to add to dishes when you want to make it creamy. I suggest like keeping that on hand a lot if you want to make a lot of creamy dishes. I should have tried this in my Alfredo pasta, actually. I forgot about that. But anyway, I just added some salt and I had to add some green peas because my husband is addicted to green peas, so had to add that bad boy. And then later on I added a little bit of lemon to top it once it was done cooking, pressure cooking, and cilantro. You can't have an Indian dish without cilantro at the very end as well. I added the cilantro into the Instant Pot as well as soon as it finished, but then I garnished with it as well. So I definitely highly recommend this recipe. Check out sweet potato sole recipe linked below. And then this day I was feeling super duper duper lazy. So I like to have like frozen things on hand on days like this. So this was all frozen meals. So this was frozen potatoes and hash browns, frozen broccoli with vegan cheese, and frozen black bean vegan what are they called? Enchiladas. And then I put that sour cream on top and the homemade pico de gallo. This hit the spot. It took me maybe 10 minutes to 15 minutes to make. I love having frozen foods like this on hand for the days that I feel lazy, but I still want to be somewhat healthy. I would consider this dish pretty healthy. So yeah, I hope this video helped you all out. Please let me know if you have any questions below, and I will see you all very soon in the next video. Bye.